Welcome back, guys. Lonestar Patriot here. Thanks for joining me. So today I want to look at an appendix style inside the waistband holster made by Priority 1 Holsters. It's what they call the Bulge, and it's got a lot of cool features. So let's jump inside and we'll take a look. Okay, so to take a closer look at the Bulge holster from Priority 1 Holsters, let's first talk a little bit about the overall construction of the holster, and then we'll dive into some of the unique features about this holster and the company itself. Now, starting off, the holster you see in front of you is made for a Glock 19 MOS Gen 4. So in terms of the optic here, I've got a Trijicon RMR optic mounted on this handgun. So there's a external modifications box on the order form of the Priority 1 Holsters website to where you can list any external modifications that you've done over the factory items. So for example, if you have an extended magazine release or say an RMR optic in this case, you definitely want to list those items so the holster can be designed accordingly. So as you can see, there's plenty of clearance and a cutout for the RMR optic to where there's plenty of clearance between the edge of the actual holster and the edge of the optic. Now, this holster does also accommodate a weapon light. So what I have is a Streamlight TLR1. Now, in terms of the actual Kydex, so what you see on the outside face of this holster is a cryptic Highlander pattern. Now, Priority 1 Holsters does charge a $15 upcharge for a custom pattern such as this. However, I think that for $15, it's certainly an inexpensive investment to give me a very customized look to my holster. Now, it is made of two separate pieces of Kydex. So as you see, you have the custom pattern on the outside, and then you have just your standard black Kydex on the inside. And then these two pieces have been riveted together at multiple points on the holster. So moving on to some of the unique features about this that I like. So first and foremost is that this holster has what they call their concealment wing. Now, this concealment wing is certainly popular among other holster manufacturers, but I feel that this is absolutely critical to help and aid in the concealability of your handgun. So what this does is actually pushes against the inside of your belt to keep the butt of the gun tight against your body to keep this from printing. So I feel that it's especially critical for a gun of this size. Otherwise, without it, the butt of the gun will definitely stick out and will print. Now, one of the other nice features that I like is that it has two separate belt clips. Now, this is almost a necessity for a holster this size, given that it's got, of course, the gun itself and then a magazine carrier as well. But what I find difficult on a holster that has, say, a single clip is that a lot of times that holster will shift around on me to where I don't have consistency in my draw stroke. So when I have two separate points here on my belt, I find that the holster itself will stay in position much better, and again, give me consistency in the draw stroke to where I know exactly where the gun is positioned on my body. Now, one of the other nice features about this that I definitely like is that it has adjustable retention screws for both adjusting retention on the gun itself, as well as adjustable retention for the magazine carrier. So I found that some manufacturers don't actually provide any adjustable retention screws at all, which I think is a huge mistake. So obviously I definitely want to dial in the adjustable retention to suit my needs. Now, the other nice thing about Priority 1, so talking about the company in general, kind of the intangibles that you don't see from the holster itself, but they have excellent customer service from my experience. So every time that I've actually emailed or messaged them for help or questions that I've had, they've certainly been very responsive and really very helpful to accommodate any and every need that I might have. So I definitely give them an A+ in customer service. So overall, I think they're an excellent company that certainly provide an excellent quality holster. All right, guys, so to wrap up today's video covering the Bulge holster made by Priority 1 Holsters, now let's talk about the appendix carry position for a second, as well as some of the advantages of this particular holster that I see. So with the appendix carry position, I obviously realize that that position is certainly not for everybody in terms of the body types that might not suit that position the best. However, it is my preferred position in terms of concealed carry. Now, in terms of the advantages of this particular holster and this position on the body, I find that an all-in-one rig such as this gives me the advantage of having everything in the 12 o'clock position at my disposal. Unlike some of the older style holsters or separate holsters where you have a dedicated gun holster and then you got a separate mag holster. So when I have the separated combination, I would run a separate mag carrier, say at my 9 o'clock position on my body. However, a lot of times what I found is that in casual clothing such as this, a basic t-shirt, a lot of times that mag carrier would print and I'd have a hard time concealing it. So having it up front in one location on my body is a lot easier to conceal for me. Now, another advantage I see, of course, is that this style holster is certainly popular now. There's multiple manufacturers of this holster. However, this particular holster comes in at a price point of right about $90. Now, obviously, if you have the upgraded patterns, it is a little bit of additional cost. However, I typically find that it's about $40 to $50 cheaper than most other comparable manufacturers. The other advantage is that the Priority 1 holster lead time is generally about a week or less. So you don't have to wait a lot of time to get a very customized holster to suit your needs. They also do have a lot of different guns available, so that's a big advantage as well. But hopefully you found the video helpful. Maybe you considered an appendix inside the waistband rig such as this, kind of an all-in-one rig. But thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and keep it the good fight. So first off, generally speaking, I prefer to carry in the appendix. My carry position on my body is preferably in the appendix. What I like about this particular holster, there's several things. So the first off thing,